Okay, so this is the book of angles. By the time we're done with all these videos, you should have completed the entire thing. So let's get started. All right, so an angle is created by two non-collinear rays that have the same endpoint. So if we're looking here, we see that we can name this angle 4 different ways. So we can go with A, C, F. So that's one way we can name this angle. So that would be angle ACF. Another way would be FCA. So that's angle FCA. And notice both times C is in the middle because it is the vertex. And then we could also name it angle C because that's the vertex. And then we can name it angle 3 because that number is in the vertex. All right, let's talk about complementary angles. So we'll start over here. Okay, so complementary angles are formed by perpendicular lines or segments or rays, and they make 90 degrees. Okay, so that's pretty much what you need to remember about that. So if we look at example 1, we see that we have JK and JM and that they are perpendicular. Don't forget that that word or that symbol means perpendicular. Okay, and it also means that this is going to be a part plus part equals 90 problem. Actually, let me erase that. Use gray. So this is going to be a part plus part equals 90 problem. Okay, so that's what that means. So let's go ahead and figure this out. And we're going to have to find the measure of KJP, which is right here. KJP, which is represented by 7x plus 6. And we're also going to need to find the measure of angle PJM. So that's PJM, which is right there. And that's 3x plus 4. And again, this is part plus part equals 90. Okay, so after you set up the equation, so we set up the equation, now we need to solve for x. So we can do it the old-fashioned way by combining like terms. So we get 10x. Combine this and this, we get 10. Then we take away 10 from both sides. So that gives us 10x equals 80. And divide both sides by 10, which is 8. So that means x equals 8. So we can use that. That's totally fine. And then to figure out what each angle is equal to, you just plug it in. So that's going to be 7x plus, instead of x, sorry, we're going to put an 8. So 7 times 8 plus 6. And then that's going to be 62 degrees. And then we're just going to plug it in for the second one as well. So that'll be 3 times 8 plus 4, which is 28 degrees. Okay, and we are done. So the only thing I would say is make sure that when you add them up, they equal 90, since they're supposed to equal 90. But yeah, there you go. That's it. All right, example 2. Find the measure of two complementary angles if their difference is 34 degrees. So first thing, I don't see a picture. So let me go ahead and draw that picture first. So I start by drawing a right angle, and I break it into two non-equal angles. Then it says find the measure of two complementary angles. So that means part plus part equals 90. That's what complementary means. All right, and it says their difference is 34, which means we're going to have to subtract. So if we call this angle x, let's just say we call that angle x because it doesn't tell us what the angles are equal to, so just put an x there. And then it says the other one is going to be 34 less than x. We have to subtract. So we get 34 minus x. All right, so now we again see that this is a part plus part equals 90. So the first part here is x. The second part here is x minus 34. And again, we have to add the parts, and when we add them, they should equal 90. So we could solve it the old-fashioned way like we did with example 1, or we can go over here to our TI Inspire app. Okay, so we start a new calculator document. Okay, you're going to go ahead and press the little book-looking icon here on the left, hit Math Operators, Algebra, numerical solve, done. And there we have it. So we're just going to type in the equation that we just wrote. So x plus x minus 34 equal 90. And you just type it in like that. Don't forget you have to put comma x, because x was the variable that we're working with, and hit enter. And we get 62. So instead of having to do all that work on our own, if you don't know how to solve equations still, you can do it this way, and you get x equals 62. Now, once you get that, plug it back in. So we see here, x equals 62. Well, that was just an x, so just plug it in, and that's just going to be 62. For this one, we have 62 minus 34, which should give us 28 degrees. And again, you want to double check by adding the two together, which we already know from the previous. But that's okay, we're going to add it anyway, and yes, we get 90 degrees. So that is correct. Number 3, A and B are complementary. I don't see a picture. Let me go ahead and draw that right now. So whenever you don't see a picture, draw a picture. Okay, so complementary means 90 degrees. We already talked about that. And that's going to be part plus part equals 90. So the instructions say that we need to find x. Then we need to find the measure of angle A and the measure of angle B. So let's see. The measure of angle A is 10x plus 8. So I'm just going to say that that's angle A. So that's going to be my first part. Then I'm going to say that the second angle, or angle B, is going to be 6x plus 2. So that's my second part. And don't forget I have to add those up so that they equal 90. And that's my equation. So now I'm going to go over here to my calculator app, or you can solve it by hand if you prefer. Hit the little book looking thingy, bring up and solve. And if you forgot how to do that, just rewind the video. And we're going to type in our equation. Okay, so that should be good. We get 5 after you hit enter. So that means x equals 5. So that means we're going to plug in a 5 for the x's. Okay, so that's going to be 10 times 5 plus 8, which is just 58 degrees. And then we're going to plug it into the second angle. So that's going to be 6 times 5 plus 2, which is 32 degrees. And of course, you want to double check your answer by adding those two angles. So 58 plus 32, you want to make sure it equals 90. Just check your answer. Example 4. BA and BC are perpendicular. So that means because of this is going to be another part plus part equals 90 problem. So let me go ahead and draw this out. So it says ray BA. So this is BA. Then it says ray BC, and that they are perpendicular. So that means this is C. And then it says point D is in the interior. So somewhere inside the angle, put point D. All right, so then it says angle ABC, angle ABD is 4 plus 7x. So ABD, which is right here. And that's going to be 4 plus 7x. Okay, so that's going to be our first part. Then we have DBC. That's this angle right here. That's going to be 9 plus 4x. So that's our second part. All right, so let's go ahead and make our equation. Boom. All right, so at this point, you can just plug that in to end solve. Y'all already know what's up. So that's going to be 4 plus 7x plus 9 plus 4x equals 90. And we're working with the variable x. And we get 7. So that means x equals 7. So we're going to go ahead and plug that in. So for this guy, that's going to be 4 plus 7 times 7, which is 53 degrees. And then the second angle is going to be 9 plus 4 times 7, which is 37 degrees. And of course, you want to add those two together to make sure they equal 90. So try 53 plus 37. Does it equal 90? Yes. So we are good to go.